Hi entrepreneurs, and welcome to another Starting a Business e-learning video class. We will change modules today and shift into marketing and sales, and as you see on your screen we will look at a certain part of marketing and sales, which is content marketing. So marketing and sales has many components which we will take a look at on a further lesson, but today we're going to look at content marketing and how it is relevant for your business being a startup company. Now, marketing is very expensive, and advertising is very expensive. Promoting your products are very expensive. So all of this really allows us to find a different avenue to try to get your information out there and to promote your product in many ways without even promoting it. And it's really more of engaging than anything else with your customers. So the customers really look for content that stands out on its own, and I'll explain this a little further on what this means. So a lot of people will seek out and they often share with others about information about products that they like, and word of mouth is very efficient today in today's world of marketing. And as obviously as we know, word of mouth, there is really no cost. So content marketing is more than just putting stuff online and to get people to look at and share in that way. Yes, it has to do with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and in particular also YouTube, where you do share a lot of that information on there. But it's not as simple as let's just put it on and share it with our customers. This is very traditional in many ways, and it's been done over and over again. It does work to a certain degree, but content marketing has to go a little bit further than just traditional marketing. You know, when we send out advertising folders or promotional tools that we use, our messages are, you know, we're the best, we have the best quality, and buy this now, it is on sale. So we use a lot of urgency to really push our products and into the customers' language and customers' mindset, so they can actually take a look at it and have an interest to use a product or to buy the product. But this is not really what we're looking for when it comes to content marketing. It really is to hold your customers and to have them close to you, and as I've indicated also or mentioned in the class, is to show empathy towards your customers and how they look, how they use the products, how they want to use the products, what they don't like about your products, how they want them to be improved, really what are their needs. So content marketing really informs customers about your product. It gives you insight about your product, or by showing videos on how to use it, or even having certain other components that you can use on your premises to actually inform or to have someone actually use the product itself. It really helps customers understand the use of the product, and actually many times what happens also is that it informs you, the owner of the company or the product itself, how maybe different ways that the product can be used. It also entertains. It entertains in many ways that we're not just doing this for the sake of selling the product, but in many cases, like many companies, like I had mentioned, Red Bull is one company, GoPro, which I'll show you in a couple of slides, also uses it to entertain and to give you information that you can be useful, and also to give you a storyline. So when you entertain, you do give a storyline. So that's what it does. It does give a storyline, and it gives the actual customers a little insight inside why your company is what it is, what the company's passion is, what is your mission statement, and how relevant your mission statement is to the company itself. So content marketing, a lot of social media, blogs. Blogs are really essays written online, and this you see quite a bit of. It could be blogs, it could be podcasts. It's all this information online about how to use your products. And yes, it also is YouTube videos. The big thing about using all these different avenues or platforms, I should say, is the fact that you have to keep it relevant, and you have to keep it up to date. You can't stop using these platforms and say, well, you know, this information I put on 5 months ago is fine enough, or last year. This is where there's a big disconnect with customers when it comes to social media information. Old information is not information, is dead information. So content marketing has to be measurable to the day. It needs to be updated, like I mentioned, all the time, and it always has to be available to everybody, customers, future customers, prospects. This is the only way it becomes very effective. So the program does work. There is cost to it only because of the time that you have to put in it. There's no actual costs of marketing, promotional advertising, stuff like that, but there is your time and effort that you have to put in. But as GoPro has shown, and if you do not know this company, you should look it up. It is one of the best cameras out there today, and when it comes to action cameras, it is a great product. And they've taken the customer's content and really used it to show everybody what exactly the camera can do and how you could use it. So as we say in marketing lingo, or in sales lingo, in business lingo, it's a win-win situation. You win with all the content, you put your content, people sees your content, and GoPro wins because they show the world how to use their camera. So this is one of the best examples of content marketing. So it really answers a lot of the customers or the consumers' questions. And it shows right there by showing that picture of how good the GoPro camera is, how, you know, what it can do, and how it fits the customer's needs. It really does engage, and it's a big thing to engage with customers, and about giving back to the market, giving back to the customer. And it really is a way of leveraging out the differences that you have with your customers. Customers are never at the same level as you are when it comes to knowledge, and they know this. They have a fear of this, where we always fear that we're getting ripped off, or we're not getting the best quality for our money. This really engages, and it shows that there is more leverage between the product itself and the company and the actual consumer or the customer. So it's very cost effective, and yes, certain channels like Facebook and Twitter there's no cost to it, but the thing is, there is a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of information out there, and unfortunately a lot of information out there leaves customers not really realizing what to follow and how to follow it. So there's got to be some clarity to it, and some clarity also means that the faster you put information out there about what's going on in your company, sometimes you'll be really surprised how consumers really want to know about a new product. So the faster you do that, and you use the mediums being social media or YouTube, the better you use it, the more efficient you become, and it's a huge advantage to you. And as I said before, it has to be live. It has to create a moment now. It has to be continuous. It cannot stop. So it has to be very relevant for today. And the more it is relevant for what's happening today, for example, today, or this time, because this video will probably be used for some of the classes, but it could also be relevant, like today we're having in Quebec the issue with the floods, and you can find a way to use content marketing and what's happening in the world today, try to help out with the floods. So this is just one issue that you can, or one thing that you could look at, is to be really relevant and be up to date, and you have to be fast. And today, of course, smartphones, you can't be any faster than that. So when we talk about smartphones, we talk about being online. You know what? Slowly, there's not going to be an offline world. Everybody will be online, and these words will be forgotten, offline and online. The world is just going to be online itself. And things like newspapers, well, will be irrelevant. And newspapers have become very relevant to the point where if you write it down now, an hour from now, it is irrelevant because it's not really up to date. So this is why Twitter is very powerful, and so is Facebook, because in many cases it keeps it up to date and it keeps it going. So there's no really pretension when it comes to content itself. right? It's not, it's really a TV show, if you want to call it that, but live. It has to be true. So what's happening in your company? How's it going? How is it you're having your moments, your growing pains, or things like that? There's many campaigns used for content marketing. One good one is you can actually use is something like using a video where you use, in this case, Legos to make a movie. So there's no really promotion aspect. It really is the video itself. They're not saying buy Legos. They're just showing you this movie, which happens to have figurines in Legos or characters in Legos. So it's got to be relevant, and it's got to be useful, and it's got to be entertaining, like we see here with Legos. A lot of cases, though, content marketing, we like to find the connection with real people. Real people meaning you don't go out and get actors or people that are not connected to your company to market your product. So the most real people there are you, the owners. So really, you're the ones that have to do the content marketing and be relevant to your business. Using other people to advertise your market or your marketing, I should say, is really becomes irrelevant, and it becomes very promotional. There's many advertisements you see where they show fake doctors or fake dentists advertising about certain products and how good they are. That really does not stand up in today's market anymore. So I put up here a infographic. Infographic really is a graphic with information on it. You can pause the screen here and take a look at, see exactly what it's all about, a little bit more in detail, what content marketing does and how you can improve it and how you can improve your business. So you can pause the screen here. And just to continue, really content marketing for your project and in general, it should not be promotional. It should be exactly relevant to your reader. It's got to close the gap between the consumer and yourself. Like I mentioned, a lot of consumers, when they shop, they don't have the knowledge you do. So there is always a gap, and there's always a fear between consumer and owner of a company or a product itself. So this really closes the gap when it comes to knowledge about the actual product and how to use it. It has to be well written. It has to be clear, is more what I mean. It has to be clear exactly what your product does and how it could help the community and how it could help you or how it could help the consumer himself. Again, it has to be relevant to your company. In other words, it's got to be about your product. It can't be about some other products. It really has to touch what you do in your business. And it gives proof. It gives proof that the product works, that the product is useful, and it also creates a need. So it gives proof and creates a need for the consumer. I will show you some examples. These are very, very simple examples that have been done in other classes and other projects, and maybe somewhere along the line will give you an idea of what you can use for your project. So this was a gym. And here was a gym, and they decided that they would have to show how to use their machines. And this was for, usually they had a under 18 or over 60 training day. So a lot of the folks that never used the gym before, don't have any programs whatsoever, would come into the gym and use the machines for free and actually be shown how to use the machines, and not only that, how to exercise properly at no cost. So this is one way that you can promote without promoting your products, I should say. So this is, you give to the community, be it in this case, like I had showed you earlier also about the Parkinson's disease gym. That's also content marketing. Another way is if you are a landscaper and you do a lot of work for gardens, but a lot of people like to do their own gardens. So what you might do is you might give lessons on how to fertilize your lawn. So you might give them live, which is very good in a certain place, or you can do this on YouTube and show them how to fertilize your lawn. So this is really what content marketing is all about. If you owned a car garage, you would be able to do videos or show how to, a lot of people don't know this, but how to change wipers on a car, or how to fill their windshield washer fluid, or check their tire pressure, things like this. So this is what content marketing is all about. It's giving without promoting anything at all. Beauty salons, in many cases, or even cleaners do this also, is free shampoos. If you're looking for a job and you can't afford a free shampoo and a haircut, or you can't afford a clean suit, some tailors or some stores would actually lend you a suit so you can go for the job interview, get a haircut, look proper, and clean the suit, things like this. These are all little ideas that you can use for content marketing. If you own a pastry shop, pastry shops, if you give cooking lessons, or if you already have a restaurant of any kind, or pastry shops of any kind, to show people how to do things and let them do them themselves, it really stands out to them, and it really creates bonds between your products and, in this case, pastries, and the consumer. You might even have a children's day where you will show children's how to make a certain pastry that they can actually make themselves and feel proud enough for them to eat it. So you can have days like this, and this is really attaches, especially neighborhoods where a lot of people on the weekends don't know where to go, and usually just go out and have a coffee. This way really enhances a family outing with their children. So these are just some ideas. Other ideas, you can find tons of them on YouTube. Video really is always the best way to pass on your message of what your product is all about and what you can do. But volunteer work, things like that also help when it comes to content marketing. This is all little parts that you can do to really enhance or put your word out there that you exist, and this is what we do. We don't just sell products, we do all of these things. So we can actually show you, certain things online. So YouTube is just starting. Honestly, it's just the beginning. It might seem it's been out for a few years, but it is getting better and better. And use it to your advantage. Do a lot of videos, show a lot of things about your product. You could even have a stream on YouTube now, a live stream, and that you could have maybe a lesson that you can show or something. It could be 2 minutes, 5 minutes online every day or every second day, but has to be continuous. It has to be relevant to your business. A good little example that was brought up by Pierre in one of my classes in SAB 0312, as you can see there, was a video about music school where he shows his two sons playing a beautiful song, and it's really, actually you should watch this video. It's really nice. But in this case, the video is not on YouTube. The video was given to me, and I decided to put it on this Google Classroom. But this could be considered to be content marketing if done correctly. So this should be on YouTube, attached to Quebec Plays Oriental Melody, and it really stands out, and it really is a beautiful video, and it really is not marketing per se. Really what it is just showing Pierre's sons playing a beautiful song, but it really connects, the beautiful song connects, the passion of the beautiful song, the melody of the beautiful song connects to the actual music school, where, word of mouth, hey, did you see this video? And people will share this video, and you'll have more and more people being interested to not only watch the video, but actually taking lessons and learning how to play this instrument. So this is really a fine way of doing content marketing. So content marketing, if you want to look at it this way, as you can see at the bottom, it says purchase. This is what, in many ways, in many aspects, is the goal of everybody. It really is to sell your product. It really is to make money. It is to survive and to grow. But everything else that's considered a part of it, the passion of it, and all the costs involved, and all of this comes into play. You might as well do something that is good for you, and also something that you're passionate about doing. So this is one way of really trying to save costs when it comes to marketing, but really getting your word out there today. And this is something relatively really new in our marketplace, and we should really use it to the maximum. So awareness, opinion, consideration, preference, purchase. So this is really content marketing in 4 or 5 words. So what I'd like you to do, as you saw that video already by Pierre and the Melody group, you need to come up with a strategy for content marketing. So what I'd like you to do, this would be very interesting, just use your imagination. We can talk about it in class, of course. This is why I'm showing you this now, so we can further enhance this by talking about it in class, and to come up with a couple of slides like I had showed you before about the gym and about the landscaping and the pastry shop, something like that, 1 or 2 slides, a PowerPoint, and just an explanation of what your content marketing strategy will be. So this way you will present your idea, and you'll also present a strategy of what you would like to do, so just to connect it. So what we'll do afterwards, we will go on to the next class and talk about the 4 P's of marketing. So do you know the 4 P's of marketing? Maybe not all 4, possibly, but here they are. So just quickly, this is what we're going to be looking at afterwards in another video. The 4 P's of marketing are product, price, promotion, and place. So content marketing is not here. This is a separate entity when it comes to marketing itself. So I will stop here. Hope you enjoyed the video. So take a look at it and start thinking about your content marketing strategy. Pierre's group, if they would continue in the same vein about the videos like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be videos. It could be just about anything. Like I said, we can discuss it in class and we can take it from there. So again, hope you enjoyed the video and see you soon.